performance and 6 characters are on stage for a scene, all 6 are available for your attention. True, some will be farther upstage or downstage, which tends to control your eye, or they may be more central or farther out toward the wings, but the bottom line is that each of them is present. An unscrupulous actor can invent a bit of business, like fiddling with a vase or making faces or gesturing, which can move him from a peripheral role to a center of attention, not warranted by the script. He might be looking for other work tomorrow, but he can manage it tonight. Not so in a movie. Of those 6 characters, still all present in the scene, the only ones we see on screen are the ones on whom the lens focuses. It may show us all 6, or 5, or 4, or 3, or 2, or 1, in any combination, in the cases of more than one. If it only shows us one, it may be the person performing the action, or one of the others. How different it is to see the speaker or to see the listener. It may even show none of them, but something else entirely. A ticking clock, a cocker spaniel, you name it. So film shows action, even when the action is minimal. But it does more. It selects the action to show. Not just who or what is in a shot, but how close or far, from what angle, and for how long, among a host of other decisions. Those decisions matter because the way a movie shows action is what causes us to care about it. Film is the only literary form in which the text itself moves. I can hear the objections now. Yes, there is movement in drama, but where does it take place? On stage, in performance, right? By its very nature, dramatic performance is transitory, of a single moment. When you see and hear the reading of a line from, say, Arthur Miller, it's there for the time it takes the actor to speak, and then it's gone. It will never exist again in quite the same way. The thing that remains, the script, is the thing we can study. That is the text of a play. The text of a film, on the other hand, is the film itself. What about the screenplay? That's a script, just like a play. Good question. Good answer, too, except for the word just. It's sort of like a dramatic script. The difference, however, is huge. A play exists as a written text out in the world for a host of interpreters to produce as a work in performance. With movies, to the contrary, the screenplay forms not the definitive text, but merely the template for a finished work that may differ substantially from the original words on pages. That work is a visual and often auditory construct that itself stands as the final text. That's the thing that can be studied and analyzed. We say, let's go see a play. We do not say, let's go see a screenplay. That's a distinction whose importance can't be overstated. Many of us will have read plays in school. The vast majority of film fans will go their entire lives and never see, much less read, a screenplay. A text, in turn, has a specialized language with its own set of rules. How those rules work to direct that language will be our subject here. We're going to become fluent in a new language: movie. To demonstrate these 2 special properties of film, don't get too cozy, there are plenty more. Let's try a thought experiment. Here's the first scene you're shooting in your directorial debut. We have a scene with 6 people dealing with a tragedy. A teenage boy has just been in a car accident, which may or may not have been suicidal, and lies hovering between life and death. The scene is at the hospital. 2 of the characters are the parents of the injured boy. The other 2 adults are the next-door husband and wife, and she has been having an affair with the husband in the first couple. The final 2 are the teenage son and best friend of the injured boy, who told his pal about the affair immediately before the wreck, and preteen daughter, who knows and suspects nothing of the neighbors. You want to shoot 20 seconds of film in which wife number 2 says to her lover, husband number 1, something to the effect that you shouldn't blame yourself. So, here's the question. Mr. or Ms. Director, what are you doing with the camera during those 20 seconds? I can think of a couple of dozen possibilities for what or whom to include involving 1 or more persons or objects in the room, and every one of those will convey a different meaning. Just think, for example, how differently the shot plays if you show the adulterous wife as she speaks along with her husband, who doesn't know, versus her and the wronged wife, who does. Or the angry boy alone versus him with his unaware sister. Okay, got it? Made your decision? Excellent.